Ladies and gentlemen, here are 25 tips to get better at Rainbow Six Siege. And these will be a mix of beginner and also advanced tips. That way this video works for everybody. Now be sure to save this video and like it right now so that way you can add it and you don't forget. Number 1, shoot glass on the windows. If you ever come to my stream, I always get the question, why are you shooting at glass windows? Are you shooting at a ghost on the other side? No, it's so that way I can hear the sound of people rappelling or maybe even trying to sneak up on the window. You'll be surprised how many times I died because people were rappelling on a window and I didn't hear it. This could save you a lot of rounds, so do not forget to do this. Coming at number 2, we have half reload barricades while shooting. So what does that mean? When you're shooting down a barricade, you don't want to mag dump completely into the barricade because people tend to hop out, or maybe you might be gunned down and you can be caught reloading. Instead, half shoot down the window with about maybe half your mag, reload, and then shoot the rest of it down, and you have half of your mag left to shoot at anybody hopping out your window. Trust me, you'd be surprised. And if you really want to have extra wrap protection, after you shoot down the barricade with your half reloaded mag, throw a drone by having advanced droning on, and I'll get to you guys that soon. Number 3, we have turn on night mode for balanced audio. So this is kind of a preference, but it works for about most people with headsets. So depending on the quality of yours, but this helped out a lot of people inside the 6-Shot Academy. This is where I coach people. Having night mode on, what it does is it makes it so quieter sounds are even with louder sounds, and louder sounds are kind of compressed down. So these kind of come in the middle. So that way, you know, footsteps are louder, but gunshots and breaching charges, explosions are a lot quieter. So everything is always a very consistent level of audio. Now, especially if you're a new player in Siege, when you're getting all these loud noises and it kind of blocks out, and sound cues are really important in this game. Number 4 is get off the native res. You start out the game on auto. If you go to your settings and you go to display and you go to aspect ratio, it will say auto. Don't put this on auto because it just puts on 16:10 native. And this game, honestly, it's not really hard to miss people in this game. The player models are a little bit skinnier, but if you do go to a more of a stretch, like a 16:10, 4:3, some stretch res are super important in this, really popular in this game, then it will help you, especially with the time to kill in this game is really short. So if you can really get that upper hand on the enemy, trust me, stretch res might help you out. But at the end of the day, it is preference. If you want to stay in 16:10, then by all means go for it. Now coming at number 5 is head level on barricades. Now head level on barricades, this means if you go to a barricade, any door you barricade it down, you will see on that very top buckle, there's 2 buckles. There's one where it's a top one and a bottom one. The top one is literally head level for all characters in the game. So if you go up to a game, and that, because I see so many people crosshair placement, it gets them killed because they're literally aiming at their toes. You need to be looking with your crosshair along with your eyes, not just your eyes looking around, because at the end of the day, wherever your crosshair is where the bullets are going to go to. So I want you to go up to a barricade, aim at head level on there, and lock a crosshair on there. And then this will kind of get you in that muscle memory of aiming head level. The 7th thing I have for you guys is to start pre-firing more, for the love of God. A lot of you guys die with so many bullets in the mag. I'm not saying you have to dump all your bullets in the battlefield, but you have a lot of extra mags for a reason. Use it to shoot down barricades. Use it to pre-fire combat ankles, because you never know. Those next 5 bullets that you pre-fire might end up saving yourself from a death and even the whole round. And Siege honestly is an FPS where like you can get lucky, bro. So like if you're just like randomly shooting and you just get your tapping, you might sometimes get yourself a lucky kill. But yeah, how do you pre-fire better? What I would recommend is that you pre-fire off of sound and your experience. If you know people like to hop out a certain window, or maybe there's a certain angle that people like to hold a lot, just pre-fire. It doesn't hurt. And if you're scared that pre-fire is going to give away your position, trust me, they already know where you are by off of your droning, your sound, and your teammates. So get in the habit of pre-firing more. Coming at number 8, we have learn how to bandit trick and kind of how wall denial works in general. If you know how to bandit trick, this is just kind of a staple and a fundamental that will kind of give you a better understanding of the game. So how you bandit trick is that you have to understand the animation and the time it takes to destroy whatever you're going up against. You can actually, this is going to take some practice, but you can actually get a thermite charge right after it starts. So you have to like kind of pre-place your bandit charges so that way you can get that shock on. But if you start a bandit trick way after the charges go off, you're gonna die. But from an attacking perspective, this will teach you a lot of how to open up walls, especially when they have denial. Now, if they're bandit, if you're going up against a bandit trick, you either want to destroy the floor above him, below him, grenade him, stun him. Otherwise, you want to use 2 heart breachers, and because he can't do both sides at the same time. So go up both of them at the same time and then look through that one hole and kill the bandit from there. But I want you to practice bandit tricking if you're new to the game or even if you're experienced, but it's been a little more popular in the meta lately. And I think it teaches you a lot about Siege. So coming at number 9 is to hit from different angles. Hit it from the back sometimes. But hey, listen, what I'm trying to say is that a lot of you guys, let's say for example on Villa, right? You're all 5 at one study balcony. If all 5 of you guys, all 4 of you guys even, are all pushing through one way, your attacks are one-dimensional and there's no pressure felt. So if you ever find yourself attacking with like on the border armory balcony, if there are 4 people on the breach, like go find something else to do. Go watch the flank, go hit from a different window, maybe go find some sort of way to hit any kind of different pressure. This will literally change so many rounds, and it's the small things like this that make a big impact on how the round goes out. Number 10 is to start collecting more drones because it is really important. So I want you to get in the habit of, while you're setting up, one eye is setting up, the other eye is cross-eyed looking for drones, looking at the common drone holes and just kind of looking around. Some people like to hide their drones in sight. They like to blend it in. So look for that drone structure, that, you know, round area like this. So okay, bro. I literally just drew a cock with my hand. Anyways, but yeah, man, like if you can get a lot of people's drones, pre-placed drones, that can really change the round of how people attack, getting information in the round. It can really impact your defense. Not only in the beginning phase, but also like the first 30 seconds of the round. If you can collect their initial drones, you'll realize the enemy is going to play a lot slower and they're not going to have the information to counter you. So especially when you're a roamer, when you're a roamer, your first objective should be to destroy drones. And if there's no drones, that means Ashe is walking around with their head cut off because she's brain dead and hard stuck. So moving on to number 11, we have to understand your reinforcement and your setups. Now this might seem really basic, but this is for advanced and beginners. If you don't understand your reinforcements, that creates a weak defense. Think of your defense as like a human body. The skin of the human body is like your communication and teamwork. Now the muscles are the operators, the players, and the bone structure is definitely the site setups. So without a good site setup, you're gonna have a very flimsy defense and you're gonna get ran over. So understand the right head holes, rotations, and reinforcements to do. This will take some time, but trust me, it's gonna help you in the long run of being consistent. Coming at number 12, bro, I have 3 words. Avoid crouch walking. Crouch walking and going prone in this game is honestly a very rare instance. Most of the time, you should be taking gunfights head level. Unless you're trying to change your head level and crouch, that's fine. But I see a lot of you guys only crouch walking because you're too tunnel vision and you're scared. But yeah, like if you're not trying to make any noise, then sure, go crouch. But don't go crouch when your teammate literally needs your help in sight. Trust me, you look like a lost puppy. Number 13 is to know how to get the K-Claw off of the hatch as Hibana without any thermite, hard breach, EMPs. Now what I mean by this is if you put 2 Hibana pellets on the corner of the hatch, you can actually destroy any K-Claw on there in the radius, and you can put another 2 more if they're impact tricking. So this is a very, very important thing to happen because getting this hatch open is really round changing when you play Clubhouse. Just be careful, don't aim it too far in the corner or else it will break off the pellets and get stunned by the hatch. Number 14 is to impact trick more. Impact tricking in this game is definitely an underutilized tactic that people don't really use much, but in higher rank it's used all of the time. This is to impact trick Ace and Hibana any kind of gadget off of a hatch if possible. Doing an overall wall can also collect Ace charges. But not only just preventing it, let's say Ace does open up the wall a little bit. After the first Selma, if you actually throw an impact on the corner of the breach, you can destroy the other half, and this will force him to use another one, or else he's stuck with a head hole that he can't walk through. But yeah, man, you can't, not only you can impact trick gadgets, if the opponent is low HP, then you might as well add them to your Pokemon collection. Number 15 is to how to peek barricades. Now, a lot of people, what they do is they stand right in front of the barricade, wide and open, and then they punch it, and then they have about maybe like a full second of their gun being down. The enemy team is literally turning their head and getting that fair gunfire on you. Instead, what you want to do is go up to a barricade, shoot the side of it to avoid shooting at the glass, or maybe even just to cover up the sound. But if you go up to the barricade, shoot the side, and then peek in, you are gun up and it saves you a little more time. I think a good example of this is like Bolo, Uzi, Spoit. They do this all very well. Watch them. They're really good. Number 16 is default cams. I shouldn't have to tell you guys this. I don't know why this is in the list, but I was playing Rank 2.0 earlier and we literally won so many rounds because champions. Yes, champions. AKA Emerald, because I set them back 2 ranks off of the system. They weren't shooting default cams. The ones you... and at a spawn. Maybe even the 90 cam inside of the map. It's hilarious. But yeah, man, when you know how to use default cams, you understand which ones are shot and which way they're coming from. So it really gives away a lot of sound too. Number 17 is to keep crosshair placement equal to your exposure. So I see a lot of people who are swinging angles, but their body is exposed for a full like half a second to a second before the crosshair can even catch up. So you need to tighten up. Imagine like your crosshair is a magnet to whatever wall you're looking at. Your crosshair sees the enemy just right as your eyes sees them. So this will come down to your ADS sensitivity, which we'll talk very soon, but you want to fix up your sensitivity and make sure you're able to sweep corners correctly. Number 18 is to learn how to quick peek. Learning quick peeking is pretty easy in this game. It takes it took me about an hour to get down when the new one came out. I've been in the game for a very long time. So there was first the Bolo hard lean, and then there was the oh shoot, I can't really explain it, but I'll probably put a video below. Is basically how you guys are doing every peek in the game. But the current one is the Shiko peek, which you'll hear a lot. It's basically where you lean in and then you shoot whatever you tap, then you lean out. But as you're leaning out, then you start from the lean that you started. So it's like a 1, 2, 3. So see how I'm leaning this 1, peek out, shoot, boom, boom. It's basically the quick peek comes from your character doing the lean gesture. It's not from the strafe. Like it's not strafing WASD. You know, it comes from your character actually doing the movement. So it looks a little weird when I'm doing it, but trust me, learn how to quick peek. It's going to take some practice, but get used to it. It's worth it. Number 19 is to turn your sensitivity down. Guys, recoil control is the key, and some of you guys look like you're aiming with a vibrator. When you can control recoil control really good, then it doesn't matter if it's a pixel angle, if someone's holding it like when you can control recoil, bro, like aim just becomes so much easier. And it kind of prevents those, you know, accidental headshots, and you guys know what I'm talking about. Number 20 is to keep a strong mental. A lot of you guys have flimsy worm-like minds. You need an iron mind. You need the stone-faced tactic. Listen, bro, I don't care if you're going up against racist teammates, stream snipers, if you do stream. You lose a hard match. You lose a 1v1 on 4-4 overtime match point. Listen, bro, I know it sucks to lose, but it also sucks to be a sore loser. Don't be blaming everybody for why you just lost, bro. Man up, take it, take the accountability, move on. Listen, no one is going to improve more in this game with someone who has an iron mind and is consistent. So yeah, you gotta bring a strong mental if you're gonna play Siege, because you're just gonna be a lot of BS that you're gonna die to, like a one-shot headshot across the map. Number 21 is that you are a sum of the 5 your most played with players. Listen, a lot of you guys want to get better at this game. You want to rank up. However, you're still playing with your school friends. Now, I'm not saying, oh, why would I lose my school friends over a video game? Well, if you put it like that, it's pretty bad. But I'm not saying you have to cut ties with them. However, you have to understand your school friends are probably not fit to play Siege with you. Some of them want to just play for fun, which is okay, but if you actually want to seriously rank up in this game, you have to know the balance and the consequences of, do I want good vibes, or do I sacrifice the good vibes and kind of play a bit more serious? You can still find good people that you work well with online and still bring good gameplay. But listen, man, you guys are growing up and I know you can make those choices. Number 22 is to learn how to trade your teammates. This is refragging, trading, or whoever you want to call it from different games. This basically means that you get your teammate's death does not go uncalled for or on value. Let's say you guys are clearing a room together, right? And your teammate just dies hard right from someone in a corner. Then you kill that rat in the corner, and then it's a fair trade. It went from a 4v5 to a 4v4 now. But not only just let's say if your teammate died across the map and there's no way to get there in time. However, you have someone near you, you can kill yourself. So that is also a good way of trading. Now, a good example is, so let's say it's a 3v5. You need to get a bit more aggressive now. So this is kind of a 2-in-1. But whenever, a very general idea that you guys can keep it together is, If you have more bodies than the other team, you want to play a little more passive because time is on your side now. However, if you have less bodies on your side, then you want to get more aggressive to even that man count out. Because at the end of the day, if they do happen to cancel each other out, then, you know, you're not gonna, it's almost like a dominoes effect. So keep that in mind the next time you play. Number 23 is to use barricades to block off areas that you wouldn't play or not, but not a rotation back to site. And I'm talking to you, castle mains. Stop barricading your teammates off of the site. But yeah, do not barricade like doors right next to site unless it's like, you know, an area that you know no one is going to go through. In case, you know, you want to prevent rat plays or any kind of line of sight. Like barricading maybe like a certain part of the map that you're not going to be playing because you're playing on the 3rd floor, that's okay. But make sure the barricades don't work against you guys more than it works against them. Bro, I swear to God, I see like some people are literally preparing for Home Alone, like they're about to get robbed, and they barricade the whole site. And a quick tip for you guys for reinforcement, stop reinforcing in between the bomb sites. I don't know who needs to hear this in 2023, but don't reinforce it between the bomb sites. Unless you're a new player, the reason being is because you want lines of sight. You want a rotation in between, that way in case, you know, you don't lose map control over the other. Hey, listen, man, it's the rule of the mirror. If someone's reinforcing you off the rotate, then I'm joking. Do not TK your teammates. That's some copper stuff right there. Don't do that. Number 24 is to always bring soft destruction, leading to my point because of the lines of sight and the rotations. So bring people who have a bailiff, which basically means a secondary shotgun. Basically, it's like a little shotgun pistol. Anyone with a shotgun, of course, impact grenades. Some even weapons like DMRs can also make head holes. Aruni has her robotic arm. So any kind of soft destruction is always very useful. And number 25 to end off the video is understand that Siege is naturally a team game, not a solo game. I know in Valorant or maybe whatever other game you play, you can kind of get away with the solo stuff and it can kind of work. However, it's a little bit the opposite for Siege. Because in Siege, you need teamwork, communication, and super key. It's literally the glue that makes good players in this game. You could have 5 of the really good aimers, but like let's say 5 gunners in Diamond, solo gunners. They might lose to the Platinum 5 stack that has communication because these guys are working together and that will overpower their gun skill. So for all my solo queue people out there, do not expect to get fast and good results off of solo queue. You might be able to if you're like a lower rank, but you're going to be way behind the people who are stacking in this game. And if you struggle to find teammates, listen, I'm going to tell you right now, it is not hard to find teammates in this game. You are just looking wrong. It's like making friends at school, but you know, I don't have friends at school. I'm introverted. Shut up. Listen, you guys are playing the same exact game. You guys have the same interests. Just spark a conversation with someone or use your voice chat. Give good, decent callouts and be a decent human being. Don't be toxic. Don't be, you know, whatever the Siege community can be sometimes. But listen, man, those guys recognize it. And if you say GG at the end of the game, what's the worst that they can say? Actually, there is some pretty bad things they can say. However, but, you know, some people will be like, oh, yeah, let's play together. And, you know, we can stack the next game. Send a friend request. Boom, you made a friend. Now do that 3 more times and you might get 6 people because they might have friends too. But ladies and gentlemen, that's 25 tips to get better at Rainbow Six Siege. I hope that helped you. Leave a like, subscribe if that helped you, and leave in the comments below if you have any questions for me. Otherwise, I'll see you soon. And also, I'm live on Twitch every single day. I'll see you there.